joining us on another episode of Adaptive Adjustments. I'm your host, Antonica, mental health professional, certified mediator, and founder of the youth empowerment organization, Childrenz in Action. Parents, today is a pretty interesting episode. We have on set with us 3 of my very own children, members of the Childrenz in Action Youth Empowerment Group, and just basically youths on the whole. And we're going to be discussing what are some of the issues that children are facing with at this time, now coming out of the pandemic, what it was like for them, some of the challenges they would have faced, and simple solutions for some of the issues that you parents are having a hard time getting to understand as it pertains to your children and your youths. Today on set, we have with us Jaiden, Chaya, and Kaithlin. So we're just going to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves, tell the viewing audience a bit about themselves. So let's start with Jaiden.
Hi, my name is Jaiden. I am 15 years old and I go to the College of St. Mary's.
Okay. Tell us what you like to do.
Most of my free time is spent playing football or playing game or talking to my friends.
Okay.
That's about it.
Nice. Chaya?
My name's Chaya. I'm 17. I am in lower 6 at St. Joseph's Convent, Port of Spain. And some of the things I like to do, I like to dance and I like to play chess.
Hi, my name is Kaithlin. I'm 15 years old. I go to Woodbrook Secondary School. I'm Form 3 and I like to dance and cook and eat too.
Okay, guys. So, welcome to Adaptive Adjustments. You all would know me. You're already familiar with me. And, you know, today I brought you guys on set to help you to understand, help the viewers to understand what it's like to be a child, basically. So we're going to be touching on pretty simple issues. What it's like to be absent from school for so long. What were some of the challenges that you all would have faced. So I want to start with Kaithlin.
Well, when I was home on online school, it was good at the start, and then coming on to the end, it wasn't all that good. But when we went back out to school, I actually didn't want to go in class on the first day, but I went in and everything was good after that.
So how has it been, the online learning? What were some of the things that you liked about it? What were some of the things that you didn't like about it?
Well, I like how the teachers used to explain, because some teachers used to use videos and things like that to help us understand better. But I didn't like when they was asking you to turn on your mic and the camera, like nobody wanted to show their face.
Oh, okay. So, as opposed to the online setting, what is it like now that you're back out of school?
Well, it actually good. School was much easier outside and not online, so yeah.
So you prefer the face-to-face?
Yeah.
Prefer the face-to-face. Jaiden?
Well, online wasn't really all that difficult. I think I rather online more than physical.
Why?
Just because I need comfort in my own room, and my own bed. I could just wake up in the morning and go to class. And you had the iron, no clothes. But physical school so far isn't actually that bad. It's actually pretty nice.
And what form are you in right now?
I'm in Form 3.
Okay, so you're just on the brink of picking your subjects for CXC, for CSEC,
Yeah.
and so on. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so you prefer online.
Yeah.
Chaya, what has it been like for you?
Well, I had a similar thing where it started and it was like going really good. I was like, oh, it's the new change and I get to experience this different thing that you see on TV, like you're at home doing school and stuff like that. And it started off really good. I was like really productive. And as it like went on, it got more draining to be online and like on a screen every day. It's like, oh, it's the same thing every day, like all the time. And then we started coming back to physical school and it got better to do like the hybrid, different types of learning stuff. But I honestly can't say which one I prefer because I like them both for different reasons and they also both have their cons. So I just go with the flow and try my best.
Okay. All right, so I want to get a bit more personal, right? So we're going to be looking at some of the internal issues, right? What did it feel like at that initial point in time when, okay, you all learned about COVID? Because, you know, we had a little prelude coming up to the shutdown. Persons were aware of the COVID-19 and how it was affecting other countries throughout the world. And then after Carnival, it hit us like bam. So how did you guys feel as children knowing that, okay, now you're going to be home, now your parents, some parents would be home with you, and all these different changes that would have happened? You can't see your friends, you can't go out as you used to, can't play football, and all these different things that were negatively affected. What was it like?
It wasn't all that nice. Because coming down to COVID, that already shut off all football and all those activities. So like tournaments, traveling, all I was on, you couldn't do that for the 2 years, and it sucked.
Because you're really good at football. Just tell us a bit about the clubs that you used to play with and things like that.
The clubs I used to play was nice clubs, good coaches, good players, respectable people, nice parents. Everything about it was nice. You used to travel, you were with each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that was affected negatively. You couldn't travel, couldn't do any of the stuff that you wanted to. How did that affect you mentally?
It was bad. I even for like a year, I put on a lot of weight. Which I have lost, thank God.
Did it affect your practicality as it pertains to playing?
Yeah, I felt a lot heavier on the field, like when it had to start back. I felt like I was slower and unfit. So I was getting tired quick, and I couldn't play out the whole match.
Okay, but, all right, so how did you feel? Like, all right, you know that you're having these problems now.
It was depressing.
It was depressing.
I want to go through that phase in my life again.
Okay, so you're back to normal now?
Yeah.
So, all right, so what position do you play?
I play attacking midfield.
Ooh. Attacking midfield. All right, Jay. All right. I see you doing that thing. So, all right. So, Chaya, I know you love chess. I know that's something that is that's in your lineage, you know, your entire family. You guys play chess, national champions, all these different things. Talk to me about it. How was that affected? I know that's one of your major hobbies.
Well, at first, I kind of more do chess at home leading up to COVID. I wasn't involved in it as much. I was involved in dance because that's the other thing that I do.
Okay.
And during the period, a lot of the tournaments we couldn't do tournaments face to face because you're sitting next to somebody on a board. So it was like online tournaments, and you know, you don't have the same vibe of going out with your friends and the competitive nature. It's like, oh, I'm just going to play online, and it's completely different. And it really changed the experience a lot. You know, I participated in less than I would have before because it was not like it used to be. So it was definitely a big change. With dance too, I stopped my classes that I was doing with my school because we couldn't be in school. So it was just, it was hard.
What type of dance do you do?
I was doing hip-hop chair at the time. Yes.
Hip-hop chair. So there's some pretty close contact between each other.
It is.
How has it been for you now that everything is opening back up? What is it like?
Well, now it's exciting. I've gone to go back to classes at a different place than I was at school, and hearing that clubs might start back in school in person I'm very happy to hear that. So hopefully I can go back to that. But now it's definitely better than it was before, I think, with what I'm doing.
Okay. So what would you say affected you the most out of the pandemic?
I think just being away from my friends.
Being
away from people.
Yeah. Lovely. Katie, talk to me. What was it like for you? I know you are pretty active with church and all these different things. Talk to me, tell me what it was like, how you felt. It's you and your mom. What was the changes that took place? How it affected you?
Well, first I was kind of happy we was home because, you know, I really like to be in front of people and things because I kind of socially awkward. So yeah, then after a while I was like, nah, this cannot work because I want to see people now and I wanted to go out and things. I was out by my cousins for a long while, for like half of the year or something. I was up there, or like the whole year I was there. I wasn't really home. But mommy, she was working still, and then I couldn't really go to church, and church was online, and that wasn't really as fun as going out to church, because you know, you could interact with people that you're comfortable with. I think that wasn't really fun to be home. So yeah.
Yeah. So what were some of the thought processes at that time? I know you would have been around your cousin, as you just mentioned. What was it like? Like how you felt about it generally?
Well, When I was about my cousin, that was real good because with cousins, you get to lime and thing, get to go out certain places. You know, you can't really go out with friends, but you still have your family to go out with, so that was good. So, yeah, and by home, when I was home, I couldn't really go anywhere because just me home. And I have my next cousin home, but like, we're not really that close, so we can't really go out anywhere together. So it was just boring.
Boring.
Yeah.
All right, okay, lovely. So guys, I want to get to the nitty-gritty of today's episode. You know, I want to talk about different issues that affect children generally. What are some of the issues that you guys think are necessary for parents to know and for parents to understand? Because we have a lot of homes where parents don't really understand their children, and as a result, we have a barrier to communication. Parents are not talking to their children or understanding their children. Children are not speaking with their parents, and all these different issues that occur out of that, behavioral problems. You know, children are lashing out, having issues. So anybody could go first. Anybody could talk about it. What are some of the issues that you think parents need to understand when it comes to their children?
I think one of the main issues are parents do try to understand what their child says. They will always go with what they think, and they will always think what they think is right. So they go try to understand from different perspectives, and they will always think they're right, and you can't argue with them. Because if you try to tell them if that were right or and were wrong, they will think you're talking back to them. If you don't say nothing, they will think you're being disrespectful. So it's very hard.
Parents! Only in the shy. So Jaiden is saying that parents always believe that they are right, and they don't take the time to listen to their children, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you think, Jaiden, since you're being so forward with your information here today on adaptive adjustments, what are some of the things you think parents need to do? Parents need to do?
You need to be a little more understanding of the situation your child could be in. Because there might be some things they're keeping from you that they don't want to tell you for different reasons. You should just have to understand how they're feeling and talk to them.
Anybody want to add to that?
Yeah, I was going to say something similar actually, because sometimes it's like you're trying to tell them something and you don't feel like you're being heard as much. Like they might butt in or shut you down because it's like, oh, well, I experienced something similar, but it's in a different time and it's a different person. And it's like, oh, they might have had experience. If you have older siblings or something, they might be like, oh, yeah, they went through this, so like, this is what you should do. But it's like, you're not necessarily hearing what the child could be saying depending on the situation. Because like, they need to take more time to understand their child as an individual rather than just somebody in a situation, you know?
Yeah. Katie?
Yeah, I think that's true because parents don't like to listen for nothing. Like, you could be talking and then they just want to talk over you and think, and when you try to say something, you have an attitude, or say nothing, you still have an attitude. That ain't making sense. You must listen.
So, okay. So, I think parents should listen. Do you all think there are different stages to listening? Different types of ways to listen? Or they just need to just listen to everything that all is saying?
No, they'll obviously have their own opinions.
All right.
And we wouldn't always be right. We are children. We haven't experienced as much stuff as they did. So at some cases, they will have more experience and they're able to guide us the correct way in that circumstance.
Anything else?
I think it's more like working hand in hand with your parent because they'll have experience in some situations, but in some situations, you might even have more experience just depending on what you've been exposed to. So it's like, okay, you need to listen to us. There's just listening, like you're hearing words and you might not process it. And then there's hearing words and you process it. And then there's hearing words and you interpret it based off of the child and the situation. It's like, you really need to focus on it more than just hearing what they're saying in some cases.
Yeah, that's true. Because parents, I feel like they just hear but they don't listen. Because like, I feel like they just go through one ear and then come through the next, because like you could be talking to them and then just so them not hearing what you say there, but them making sure you know what them saying. You have to listen to them always. That's be frustrating.
So listening is one of the major issues. How would you say that affects the child?
sometimes you feel like you can't really talk to them about things. It's like, oh, I've been through this already, and it's just going to be the same thing. So it's like, I'm going to find somebody else to talk to. I'm just not going to talk about it because they're not listening.
Anything, Jay?
No, it's pretty much said it all.
So, as a result of that, you guys pretty much shut down. You don't bother to say anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
That might not always be the case.
Yeah, with like adults in general, you know, like sometimes it's like, okay, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, just avoid the conversation at all costs.
All right. Do you all experience that with teachers as well?
Yes.
Yes.
All the time.
Them teachers, them don't like to listen for nothing. Well, not my teachers, but some of the teachers here.
You clear in the air one time. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. But what are some of the ways you think children can get their parents to understand that they need to listen?
Have a way for them?
Of course, there's always a way.
I think maybe get them at a time where they're not really busy doing anything. Because I know a lot of times parents will be busy because they have a lot to handle, a lot on their mind. So like if they're just sitting somewhere quietly, you could make sure there's no distractions like TV or phone or whatever, and just kind of sit down and be like, can I talk to you, you know, can you listen to me for now, please, like stuff like that.
Yeah, and be like, wait till I've finished, then you talk.
Please don't cut me off.
That depends.
Honest, Russia, you guys are the experts here today on adaptive adjustments, because we normally interview mental health professionals, but today, you guys are the experts. So, you all are teaching the parents how to parent. Okay?
I might get licks when I go, man.
No, you won't get licks. So, from an expert point of view, Jay, how do you think children can get parents to listen?
Really, first of all, you can't do nothing disrespectful. That is one thing to avoid. Don't disrespect your parents where they think it's funny, where they don't mean to do it. You must always respect your parents at all times.
Okay.
Because they provide everything for you. And not like you working and saying you paying bills on them. And they take care of you without expecting anything in return.
True.
Yeah.
Good one. Anybody else?
I feel like sometimes, you know, you have to be respectful too, but then some people doesn't deserve respect. Because, you know, some people just be doing things that are not really like good, and then they want you. It's like they need you to be respectful to them, but like they doesn't respect you, and that just be weird.
Okay, so now you raise a very important topic, So I want to just dig a bit deeper into that. You said some persons don't really be respectful to their children. What would that entail in your mind? What do you think that entails?
Well, you see, like this same situation, like if a child trying to talk to you, like you don't want to hear that, you don't want to listen to them, and you're just trying to overpower them, be like more louder than them, that's disrespectful. Because you wouldn't want nobody to be like you trying to talk to them and them over talking, things like that.
Okay. Any other ways you could think about?
Not right now, no.
What about when parents are being verbally abusive?
Yeah.
That is disrespectful as well. How you think a child would respond to that?
I feel some children just like break down and be depressed because, you know, your parents, you trying to say something and your parents like belittling you and things like that. Yeah. People could fall in that state of depression. Yeah.
What other ways you think, Chaya, children could ensure that their parents listen? I know you mentioned getting them in a safe space where they're less distracted and reaching out to them. Any other ways you think could work?
I'm not really sure.
Not sure.
Not
All
sure
right,
right
fair
now.
enough. All right, so we touch on the issue of parents not listening, right, to their children, not communicating well with their children, which causes a breakdown in communication.
Oh, I thought of something.
Sure.
Conveying the message through a different medium than like talking to them face to face. Like you could write or
That's interesting.
or like send them, I don't know, a message or something like that. Or stick a little note on their bed, be like, hey, this is what I have to say. You can come and talk to me after. Like,
Yeah.
Will I ever try that?
Yes. My mother didn't listen to. She didn't listen.
She still didn't listen.
Yeah, and because she kind of like go over it. like, you send a message and then she just watch it. And then that was it. Nothing really didn't happen.
She didn't tell anything?
No.
She did anything differently?
Yeah, I think so. Like, yeah.
So well then she listened?
No, some thought of it, like, for a long while she didn't listen to it. And then, like, some weeks or something after, then something did change.
It was delayed.
Yeah.
So a delayed reaction?
Yeah.
What do you think that was?
Probably other stuff to think about.
But your children's supposed to be the most important thing in your life. Like, to me, yeah.
Maybe they had to kind of had to change their perspective, maybe, like break down what they have set in their mind of what should be happening or what's like the right thing. So they had to like kind of chip away at that wall for the message to go through. To be like, hey, this kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna adjust how I do things.
Okay, okay. All right, so it brings me to my second question. Do you think that parents should, I don't want to ask that question yet, I'll ask it after. How you think parents should actually deal with their stressors? Because parents have a lot of stressors, as you know.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways in which you think parents should deal with their stressors? Different things that stressing them out.
I mean, so many times them stressors could be the own children.
For real.
The
Because
children
my
are knowing
siblings,
them.
they stress on my mother. But not me though.
Oh, so it's a good one.
Yeah.
That didn't sound too true. No? Nothing.
So, all right, so other children could be stressors. And, you know, that's actually really important because sometimes parents have siblings and children have siblings and the children are given trouble. And because of the different stress that is placed on the parent by the others, the person that is least expected gets, you know, the outburst, and she will come down on Jay because, let's say, probably Jeremy gave in trouble. So because she knows that she can speak to you, she would speak to you in a particular way. And to you, it might come across as though she's taking out her stress on you. That tends to happen a lot. How, from the mind of a child, how does that affect you all?
I think it kind of feels like you're adding to the burden.
Yeah.
Like if I have problems and you have problems, and if I come to you with my problems and I'm your problem, like it's a lot for them to handle, and you just might not want to be as open about it.
No, because sometimes, I still don't want that, because sometimes she's be vexed with my other two siblings. One of my older one, but like two of them. And then she just come and I be telling her something, she start quarreling for no reason. I'm like, don't take out your stress on me, you know, because I never do nothing.
Yeah, yeah. But how does that make you feel as a person, knowing that you haven't done anything, but yet it comes down?
I sometimes feel sad or frustrated because I know I never do nothing, so don't take that out on me.
Jay?
I mean, never really experienced that before. If somebody is getting punishment, probably deserve it, so stay out of it. But if it did happen, I might just ignore it.
You might ignore it?
Yeah.
Might.
And just avoid the next sibling.
So you will get in trouble too, guilty
Yeah,
by association.
exactly.
That's a good one. That's a smart way to approach it. A really smart way to approach it. So parents, we have on set with us Chaya, Kaithlin and Jaiden. We are discussing some of the issues that affect children and parents within the home and simple ways in which the children think you guys can deal with it. So we're going back to the topic of slavery. All right. Assignment of duties and chores within the home. Yeah? We're going to be discussing the allocation of duties within the home. You know, one of the things that happened throughout the pandemic was that there was something called parental burnout, where the parents became really tired because they had to be your teachers, your parents, and your friends. They had to be doing everything at once. So that was having a lot of stress on the parents, a lot of stress on the children, things like that. And some of the advice that was given is that parents need to assign duties within the home. Now, there are some parents who believe that their children are the ones who are supposed to do everything because of the fact that they are there eating and drinking and benefiting from their hard-earned monies. What are your views on that? What do you think about chores?
I mean, in where I live in, if you make a mess, clean it. You know, if you're eating a plate, wash it. You know, to wash nobody else's spoon. If you make a mess, clean it. If you throw water on the floor, mop it up. It's normal. And I gotta do somebody else chore for them.
So what about like laundry?
Try to do that. The others do that.
You don't do laundry?
No.
So who does fold your clothes?
Daddy.
Daddy?
Yes.
So why daddy folding your clothes?
That's not like his problem. I don't know.
Oh my God. All right, Chaya, let's hear from you.
Well, a similar kind of thing is you kind of handle yourself, like your spaces, wherever you go. Don't add more mess and don't leave anything. If you move something, put it back, stuff like that. And then I guess occasionally we'd have points in the week where like, okay, today we're going to clean the kitchen. Today we're going to clean hair as a family and we're going to do it. So it's like...
So you guys interchange roles.
So it's not necessarily like I have a set time to do chores during the week personally. So it's mainly keep yourself in order and around you in order. Or sometimes I might help out my little sister, you know, if she's just not feeling it. But it's not too difficult, personally.
All right, Katie.
Me now, I just clean it, and then mommy just be like, but you don't do nothing. I was like, but I clean it. I just be like, nah. I was like, that's something that'd be refreshing because I know I clean it. And then the next day come and telling me you do nothing. That's gonna be vexed too.
That's good, vexed.
Yeah.
Jay, I hear you make a sigh just now.
Nah, boy, that's too relatable. That too, you could go and sometimes whenever I feel like it, I could go and clean my room. I go and clean my room, put everything in order. I could make one mess, and my father would walk up to me and tell me, "But why you always make so much mess, boy? And you never clean after yourself too."
Lord, Trevon, I'm sorry on behalf of Jaiden, but he is really yeah. He's spilling it all here.
How about we keep names anonymous? How about we keep names anonymous?
Yes, I will. Next time. Yeah, so guys, I mean, these are some pretty simple issues, but it affects children in a lot of ways, you know, and I just want to touch on them so that the parents can understand that although it may be trivial to them, you know, they affect you guys in more ways than one. So I want to open the floor for you guys to actually name, because some of the things, I'm an adult, but I do not have kids, so some of the things I may not know. So I just want you all to put it out there. What are some of the issues that you think parents need to be aware of? Following what we just mentioned.
Do I abuse your child?
Do abuse a child. Okay, when you say abuse a child, what you mean? What is abuse? What do you term as abuse?
It could be physical abuse, mental abuse. If you keep telling your child he's not good enough, he was born by a mistake, or anything like that. Mental abuse, he might go down in life thinking he was a mistake. He could be depressed and ultimately lead to suicide. Could be that. Physical abuse. If when you get older, you remember that and you do that to your child, and just continue to generations.
Okay, that's a good one. That's actually a serious one as well. So, do you think there are any other alternatives to that a parent could utilize?
I'm not too sure.
You're not too sure.
To get drunk?
To get drunk?
Yeah.
All right. Chaya, anything?
I think, like, being aware that your children could be exposed to things that you weren't there for. Like, online, the internet is a scary place. And I worry sometimes when you're like, children are online for the entire day, just internet access. And even when they go out to school, on the way home or something that happens in school, like you don't always know everything that happens. So just to be like aware of certain behaviors or changes that might happen, like they could have went through something and you wouldn't know about it. So just to keep that in mind, you know.
That children experience things differently.
Like on their own,
yeah.
a lot of times.
And I feel sometimes parents should stop comparing the child to other children, or like vice versa. Because that is like a toll on people, because you studying, your mother saying this about somebody, it's like uplifting them, and then like she or him like bringing you down, and that, yeah.
Yeah, that's some really pretty interesting points. I just want to touch a bit more on it. The comparison of children, you know, that's something that has been happening for generations. And even I would have experienced that as well as a child growing up to some extent. You know, your parent always uses somebody else to compare you to, in the event that they want you to behave a particular way, they want you to speak softly, they want you to get something done for them, however it may go. They may use terms like, you ain't see this one, or why you don't be like that one, and do this and do that. And I can understand where, as you said, Katie, you know, it takes a toll on you as an individual. What would be some advice that you would give to parents who would do that?
Well, some advice I would give to parents who do that is like, don't compare children to other people's children. Because sometimes you doesn't know what the other person's child doing or what them parents doing. So you cannot look into yourself and change your behavior and stop comparing your child to other children. Just stop.
Just stop.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that, Chaya?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Jay?
If I'm being compared to somebody else, I'll think of it as a positive way. So say they're doing something better than you. You go say, you know, Lama, do something like that, but better, to make he look worse than me. Then his parents, will compare him to me.
Yeah.
It'll be different.
Yeah, because I remember at that time, right, when I used to go to school, there was this person that was my cousin. And sometimes my mom would compare me to her and say, why you don't be like she? And we not call her names, right, Jay?
Yeah, anonymous.
Right, anonymous. Why you don't be like anonymous? You know, and do this and do that. And when we finished school, I was the one that came out with the passes. Yeah. I was the one that ended up, you know, positive in society. And, you know, it's really amazing, huh? Because at the time, you know, their parent probably didn't want them really with me because of the fact that how my mother used to always tell me why I to be like them, because they were more, you know, put together, come from a more, you know, tight-knit home and things like that. And I was the one that actually came out with the CXC passes and got the jobs and all these different things. And there was a time that I actually went to visit, and as I was packing my car, I was hearing her mom telling her, why does it all be like me? You know, so I was like, wow, look how the tables turned. So, you know, I mean, I felt good at the time because I know in my heart that that was somebody that my parents would have been comparing me to. But it really takes a toll on you because sometimes you as a child know the negative things that that person is doing, and then remember, parents don't really know everything. So it's like when you're hearing your parent comparing you to this person, as Jay say, you want to do something better so that their parent can compare them to you. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know, it's just like it's something that happens a lot. I don't think that parents understand what they do when they do that, but it all depends on the mindset of the child as well to take it in a positive way or a negative way. Yeah? What are some other issues that we need to address today on this show? You all need to get it all out here, you know? Going live.
I don't really have any problems.
Okay, so what are some?
I don't have no problems.
You don't have no problem? Nah. Jay has no problems, guys. So, anything else you all want to address for the parents?
Not really.
Not really.
You said something earlier about parent stresses. I think that maybe not from like young, but at a certain age, parents should kind of talk to their children, even if they don't reveal everything about the general sense of what's going on in their lives. Because parents are people, like they're human. They need breaks and they have everything going on at once. So it's like if they need to take a day to not take out their stress on their child, then they should be vocal with that and be like, okay, like I need a rest today, and I swear I'll come back to you tomorrow, but right now I just need to do this so that I can be better for the rest of the week, for the rest of the month, you know, stuff like that. So just talking with the child more, like it's not like this is just your being to take care of. Like this is somebody who lives with you, somebody that observes you every day, somebody that looks up to you or wants to learn from you. So it's really important to have conversations with your child rather than just talking down to them and just expecting them to know. Sometimes you have so much going in your mind, you're like, oh, they don't know any of this, and they're just trying to find their way in this life, and I'm here like, I'm so stressed. Like, just to be open about it.
Do you all think, oh, this is a good one. This one is for the parents. Do you guys think that children need to do things within the home to help alleviate the stressors?
Elevate?
No, alleviate.
Exactly.
Oh, so like really.
No, like help to relax them, help them to relax.
Yeah.
What are some of the things children could do?
I mean, chores.
Chores.
Do you
Oh, you can cook a little food for them or something, so when they reach home, they won't have to cook.
Cook food for them.
Like, do something special if you notice that they're having a hard time, or just, you know, manage yourself. like
Manage yourself.
Try not to let them worry about you.
What are some of the things
They
that
always
you
will.
guys think parents need from children? Because I'll spend the first half of the episode bringing it home. So, I mean, to avoid, we want to balance it. So what are some of the things that you know children should do to help the parents to feel a bit more relaxed, you know, make them feel proud? You say cook, do chores, generally do nice things to them, for them. What are some other things that you think children need to do to ensure that we don't have these problems within the home?
I think to show them that you're trying in whatever you're doing, like, because they provide so much for us oftentimes. In a lot of cases, your parents are doing a lot for you. So just to show them that you're trying with what you have to excel in your pursuits, or to inspire other people, or to just contribute positively to the world. Like, to show them that you're not just sitting around, or to show them respect and that you're respecting other people. I think that definitely helps their mental a lot.
Yeah, I feel like show them that they're grateful too, because some children doesn't feel grateful to their parents, or some children just doesn't show it. So yeah.
Okay, and what are some of the ways that they think children can show gratefulness?
Like, you see, if your mother or your father come home, like, no, your mother, if she come home and she looking like stressed out, and like she said she was going to do something, you do that something for her and be like, Mommy, well, I done do this already, so you don't really need to go and lie down, relax yourself. It done. It finished it already. Yeah.
Jaiden, any contributions?
I mean, you know, my father, who is just do whatever you want. He's used to call alpha male.
Oh my God!
I don't think I really see him stressed out. But if he's stressed out, he has gone party, band, lie down, do whatever.
So what do you think you could do to help?
Not stress him out more.
No, not stressing him out more, but to make sure that he's not stressed. Just to make sure that he don't go through the stress. What are something that you think you could do?
You could ask him if you need any help around where you live in your house to avoid that. You could do that for the day or for the week. So that is one less thing he had to worry about, to focus on other stuff. Not me, but like in general.
What you think you could do?
Me.
Yeah, you. Anything. Just think about it. Think about it.
Thinking. I mean, I was ready. No. What do I do?
What can you do?
I don't know what I do first to figure out what I could do more. But to be honest, I just stay in my room all day and listen to music.
Alright, so let me help you. What about, well, they say everybody does do their own chores, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. What about cleaning?
I mean,
The general living area.
it don't really be that dirty. Nobody does really be outside.
Oh, so most people in the room, so,
So
it really stay clean most times.
Yeah, we just clean our rooms and stuff like that. Sometimes I clean outside and think if it's dirty, I'll sweep, mop, all that. Most sometimes if it ever really need to clean, that I just really clean it, but that's like once every 2 months or something like that.
Alright, well, it's a kind of bachelor part too. It's only men. So I could understand. Alright guys, so those are some of the ways in which children could assist parents to alleviate some of the stressors. Right? We want to talk about this issue that affects most, which is the fact that parents feel as though children do not listen. Because parents have the same complaints. Children don't listen, Children don't listen. Children do not listen. Do you guys really listen?
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
Yes, listen.
But like
But sometimes you'll be caught up in something else.
Yeah.
That you
And then you will forget.
No, it wouldn't really even be. It could be something they tell you to do. So they go tell you to do about 5 different things. You could do about 30 things and forget what else they say.
Oh.
For real.
That could
Because
be
that's
the problem.
happened to me plenty times.
So you guys just listen partially.
No, we listen. Is forgetting and not listening is 2 different things. If you're so, say you say, wash your wares, clean, cook, blah, blah, blah. See, you decide to do something long term first, like say cooking.
Yes, I take it in this one.
Nah, right? See, there's about 5 different things to do. Tell you a real thing. So say you try to do it one time. You do this, you take a break, then you go and do something else. If you forget about that something else, it's
You don't
not-
listen.
No, you're mixing my words. You're mixing the words. I listening,
Yeah.
but I'm forgetting because I have different things on my mind.
Like
You get distracted.
music, game.
I mean, I'm distracted. I'm doing what he tell me to do. But in the middle of doing the thing he tell me to do, I forget about the other stuff he tell me to do.
Anybody else want to back up Jaiden?
No, that's happened to me too. Because I must be like,
Guys,
there's someone with
see?
like 10 things for me to do. And I do 9, eh? And there's one, I forget. You can be like, so you never do this? I like, "But I forget actually. No, you ain't forget it. You played, you forget it. Like, I just forget.
So you always literally forget. Chaya, and you want to have these two?
I literally forget sometimes. I'm always listening, yeah? With like, if they're telling me
real.
things, but with tasks specifically, like chores and things I have to do, I have so much going on in my head at one time, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And I walk away, and I'm like, why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing right now?
It's come out of your mind. I don't
You
know.
can't get distracted
No,
sometimes.
that one song weird. That song like you need help. Like you need help. You can't just walk in a room and what are you doing here?
It happens.
You don't walk in a room with
It
a
happens
purpose.
sometimes, not all the time, just sometimes.
I mean, I don't even forget something in our room or something like that, but you're not just gonna walk in and be like, what are you doing in here again?
No, I just do that real plenty
Well, Jaiden,
times.
you're real
It's a
good.
female thing. Sorry.
I just walk in a real
That's a
time.
female thing.
Why doing it here, boy? Wait, I come for something or not. I just have to walk out the room and then walk back in. And I still
Yeah.
forget.
You know,
Backtrack.
it might really be
Yeah.
a female thing, because mommy forget her phone there about 3 times in the same spot. So it could be
Yeah,
a
it's a
female
female thing.
thing.
It's a female thing. So parents, children do listen. They just forget. Apparently,
There you go.
Listen.
They apparently part
they
for.
forget. Oh, so it's certain that they forget. Okay, parents, children do listen, but they forget. So, what I can advise you to do is create a list for them. Write it out. Place it on the refrigerator. Rest it on their pillows. Send them a text, a message. And that should alleviate the forgetfulness that some of the children here claim to have on adaptive
My
adjustments.
father ain't gonna do that.
Yeah? So parents, take note, because these children, they're crafty and they're tricky. They say they forget.
You're just forgetful.
They're forgetful.
Yeah.
They
Not
are
crafty.
forgetful. Something can go over, something take them to a doctor, see what's happening, you know, because they tend to be forgetful as it pertains to tasks. Do you all forget anything else?
Yes.
Such as?
Sometimes I forget to play my game. Like, it's every day
Oh,
supposed to play
it's
it.
not an excuse.
No, every day. Because how it is, every day you're supposed to play it. And I just be like 5 days and play it, or like a month. Man, I still do
Because
my
you're
chores
busy.
there. Yeah.
You're busy doing other things.
No, busy sleeping. I just gotta lie down
You like to
sometimes.
sleep.
Nah,
She like to sleep.
sometimes I struggle to sleep. I just gotta be
Yeah.
lie down. They just
Thinking.
looking at not even thinking.
Just lying
Just
down.
lying
And
down.
like, I can't sleep for nothing.
Is it KFC?
I just barely eat KFC though.
No, you know, because, all right, I know a lot of parents complain and they say that children don't listen and we tell them to do something and they don't do it. And so it's just that you guys forget. Simple.
Yeah.
So if your parents put a note on a pillow or write it on the fridge or things like that, you're going to remember then.
I mightn't even see that, huh?
Because I know each of your parents are going to be
I
watching
think I might need glasses.
and they're going to put you to the task. You need glasses to remember. To remember. Parents, take note. Take note. So guys, what about how some parents may think that their child is not making an effort? So, you know, some parents would say, you might do tests in school. This is not saying you guys, but generally. You may do a test and you may get, let's say, 75%, and a parent may think that you are capable of 90%, and they may tell you that you're not doing well enough. How does that impact on the child's mental?
I feel like it just causes children to do, some children, they will do better, or some children might do worse, because it's like a mental strain on them. They have to be studying, that the parent is saying they're not doing good, and that just in the mind constantly. Some, that motivation for some, and like, it's not motivation for some.
Okay. Anything, Shy?
Well, I feel like if you know that for that particular test you didn't try, then it's going to be like, okay, well, I know I could do better too.
Yeah.
But if you are trying and you get a mark and your parents tell you that you could be doing better, then it's kind of like, oh, I'm not doing enough, or what do I need to do different? And that's a whole nother set of stress. If it's just that they tell you sometimes too. Like sometimes, I guess they might not contribute otherwise, and just saying you could do better and then just leave you. But yeah.
I understand. And you?
Test too hard.
Huh?
Test too hard.
Test is hard. So how you think parents should respond knowing your capabilities? How you think they should respond to you at the end of an examination or something like that?
I mean, if they know your potential and you do bad, it's understandable. I would be upset. You get punished. That's understandable. But if you're doing something like French, do you like French?
No, I actually like French, but I feel in French and pass in Spanish. I don't know.
But you like French?
Yeah, I don't really like Spanish too.
You like French, but you're passing.
Yeah.
That's not my business.
I don't know how. But yeah.
What do you think about that one, Try?
I don't know.
You don't know anything?
There's not much to think about, isn't it?
So, what are some of the things that parents need to do to encourage children to do better?
Trying to yelling in the ears every couple seconds.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Ain't gonna help at all.
What about when a child does something wrong?
Oh well, then you deserve it. Who tell you to do that thing wrong?
No conduct. No. So how you think parents should actually deal with it? They shouldn't yell in the ears. They shouldn't bring down the children,
they
tell
probably
them negative things. But what are the alternatives?
Alternatives?
I feel like you can give them a punishment, like, okay, but don't overdo it. But like, that's something that they will remember. So if they do this again, they wouldn't try to do that again, because they will know they will get that same punishment or something worse.
Like taking your phone for a week?
Nah, don't do that.
No, they should make the thing you like to do as a reward. So they could tell you, if you pass this test, I'll let you do this, or go stay, wherever.
That would motivate the child to do better, you think?
Yes, it will.
That depends.
Think so, Shy?
Well, if they do something wrong, I think a conversation first is always best, because they could have not known, they could have messed up, or they could just not care. So you need to kind of figure out which path they're on before you choose what you're going to do.
Come from a white family.
No. You have no conduct, Jaiden.
I asked a question.
No.
I think that sometimes they really don't know us all.
Yeah, true.
They don't know the extent to what they did was wrong. They might have thought it was something small and it turned into something bigger. And they're like, oh no, I didn't know that they would come like this. And you really need to kind of talk it through with them. Be like, this is what you did, this is the result. This is maybe what you should have done if this problem arises in the future. So I don't think that a punishment immediately is the best thing to do, because then it's just like fair. Like, oh no, I can't do this, but why am I not doing this? Oh, it's just because I'm going to get punished, not because it was wrong. Depending on the child and the age and everything.
That's a good concept.
I feel like parents should teach children that every action have a reaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every action has a reaction. You want to go a bit deeper into it?
Well, I mean, like, if you do good things, you will get a good reaction. If you do bad things, you're going to get bad reactions. So, start to do good things more. Stop doing the bad things. Or lessen down on doing the bad things.
Well, That's some good contributions, guys. I want to talk a bit about all your favorite thing right now, social media.
Gosh.
No, I love the social media. What do you think is the purpose of social media?
Forming connections and maintaining them across space. Like if you're not close to somebody or can't see them all the time, you can talk to them on social media.
Yeah, like something like WhatsApp or something.
I'm mostly on Instagram to Mako. That's see what people do with their lives.
Just to see.
Yeah, that's it.
Entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment.
Yeah, for
And
real.
you?
Well, sometimes I just be on Wattpad. Like, it has some real good books there, so I just read plenty. And on Instagram, I think I doesn't really use it, but I use it to Mako too. Yeah. On WhatsApp, I use it to talk to like friends and things. Yeah.
Okay. And you know, there's a big issue right now happening with social media as it pertains to predators, cyber predators, reaching out to young ladies.
Them need something with them. I do something with their life.
Even young men, yeah. And they are indulging them in different sexual activities, things like that. I mean, everyone here, you guys are teenagers, so you are familiar with what's happening out there as it pertains to social media and the connections, Facebook, Instagram, and how these people plague the internet. What would be some advice that you would give to children of your ages as it pertains to their involvement with social media?
Try not to overuse it.
Yeah.
You need a time period to when when you're using it and to be off of it. Like if you own it all the time, you could become obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Come out addicted. Like TikTok. That's some people addicted to TikTok. You hear that? That's proof. That's proof right in.
You was going to say something, Kaithlin.
You see the TikTok, that's understandable because it's TikTok. But some of them videos come up on your For You page is be weird. Like, you doesn't be like liking them things, but like it just still pop up. So, you know, you have to be like not interested in things. But like, yeah, you should listen down on social media and thing. And like, if you see this, something going on, and like, you know that not right at all, you don't possibly involving yourself with that, like, take out yourself from it. Don't really overdo it.
Any suggestions, Chaya?
For the predators and stuff like that, I think you have to be really careful of who you're talking to, because when you're young, your parents say don't talk to strangers, valid, and then you grow up and you have social media and it's just a bunch of strangers. If you don't have, if you want to interact with them, like you have to be extremely careful and also see where they're coming from, you know, if they have that information. If they don't have that information available, don't talk. If they ask you for any pictures, any locations, anything, don't give it to them. You know, just be very careful. If it's somebody your age or like a mutual, somebody that your friend knows, it's like, okay. If it's a complete stranger that comes to message you and they have no kind of purpose, like, please stay away. It's a very dangerous platform. As much as it has benefits, it can be a very bad thing. People can use it for bad purposes.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we talk about social media. We talk about parents communicating with their children. We spoke about the aspect of chores, assigning duties. Yeah. We talk about teachers in schools. What about your peers? What it's like right now? What are some of the pressures that children are facing as it pertains to peer pressure, dealing with their friends? What's happening out there?
I mean, if my friends I know it, I just don't talk to them.
Yeah.
It makes no sense starting an argument. Because we both know we can talk to each other the next day or the next couple minutes, normal. It makes no sense arguing. If you disagree with this, completely ignore it.
Anything else? No?
I have a friend in school, right? Like, we grew like group A, real good and thing. And like group B, not so much. The teachers really like them. Not my problem. Teachers really like them and thing. And we teachers be like, when school open, we know the class coming around, the cuts are the next group, because we group quiet, you know, real thing, and the next group real rowdy, real disruptive and thing like that. So it's just like to distance yourself from that. If you see like your friend in something different or something wrong, just distance yourself a bit.
So you think that's the best way, just to distance yourself from any negative aspects that you would be seeing happening? Yeah? So that's what you will tell to other youths. Distance yourself. Chaya, anything?
I think with peer communication, sometimes you might feel uncomfortable in a situation you might not talk about it because of peer pressure. Like everybody's doing it, or people are telling you, oh, you should do this, and you're like, oh, I don't know how to say no to this. But it's really, like, it's gonna be hard, but you have to if you know something's wrong, or you don't feel comfortable doing something. Like, it's hard. It's not like an easy step. You're just gonna be like, okay, I'm just gonna say no. I'm just gonna avoid these people or this situation. Like, you have to make the effort to be like, okay, I know y'all want to do this, and I know we're friends, but I don't want to. Or if you're in a situation, it's just, if you're in a situation already and it starts going bad, you can kind of distance yourself. If you can't, be careful of who you interact with, and the choices that you make sure that you're in a good state to make the choices too. Yeah, I think that's the advice.
That's some pretty good stuff. I want to ask generally, do you all think that these different institutions, whether it be governments, churches, schools, do you think that enough is being done to motivate youths?
No, not really.
Their job isn't to motivate you. Their job is to provide you with education and things you need.
Right. So if we're looking at the ministries, we're looking at all these different persons that have these different shareholders that contribute towards youth development, right? Holistically. Do you think that enough is being done?
No, not really.
Not really. Okay. Not Shy. Katie, you answered first. You said no. What was the reason for that answer?
You see, like in school, some teachers, like, the person be there to help you learn and thing and help you out. Like, if you're against something, right, the person come and break it down to you. Some teachers doesn't do that and just be like, figure it out yourself. Or just go over here and go on to somebody else. Yeah, that
demotivates.
Yeah.
Jay, you say not really. What are some of the, channel answer from you?
Does really have any. In school example, teachers, they just teach. They don't really explain to you if you need help. And if you go to them for explanation, they go say, why not paying attention in class? Or they go, oh, so you're looking at your textbook even though you don't even know where to look. Like my French book, everything in it is French. So if I need something with a translation, and I go and ask my teacher, and I don't have any access to a way to figure out the word, she go tell me how I not paying attention. And that really makes sense.
All right. Shy, you have anything to contribute towards that?
I think that if we're talking generally, like not specific establishments, a lot of people who are running these establishments are kind of just going with the system, trying to achieve their purpose, providing what they can, but it's not really focusing on the people in the establishment. Like, it's just like, this is what we're doing. A similar thing with okay, I'm not gonna say this, never mind. But just sometimes in education systems, you might think that because of a time frame, the student should be ready, but the actual students, if you look at the individuals, they're not being motivated. They're not at the place where you think that they should be based off of your schedule. It's not individualized enough, but maybe group more. You can't focus on every individual if you're a big establishment. And it's hard to do that, to focus on the groups, but if people are going out to each section of something and trying to get feedback, I feel like children would be more motivated and they could be doing better in whatever it is, whether it's the church or education or government.
Okay. Do you all think, well, all of you know about Childrenz in Action. So do you all think, and you know that I do a lot of programs with you guys, I do different events, name it, we do it. But do you all think that generally, I know you're out there, you're seeing what's happening, you're seeing all the programs that are being launched by the ministries, things like that. What I want to know is that, do you all think that enough is being put out there for youths to engage? a program for you, something you might want to do, things like that? Are you seeing anything like that happening?
No.
Aside from that, not much is really developed in that sense. Like you could go to something, but you might not get as much benefit as you think it would of what they said that it would offer. Like just more developed programs.
Yeah, so that's a really good point that you raised there, you know, because sometimes we have expectations of something that we want to accomplish, and when we get to the program, it doesn't really fit our individualistic needs, and it's more of a general aspect of what we were hoping to accomplish. So that was a good contribution, Chaya. You know, anybody else want to add to that in any way at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, you know, today I want to thank you all for getting on set with us, for educating the parents about some of the different issues that children are facing at present, you know, and simple to practical ways in which the parents can address these issues to have a better communication between their children and themselves, you know. So I want to give you all the opportunity here before I wrap up to just say something. If you want to talk to anybody on air, this is the opportunity, you know. Anything you guys want to say? Jay, have anything to say?
Miss French teacher, do give me extra work when school started. I didn't want to talk about it, but I was kind of forced to.
No, because same.
I had to do it just in case.
Just in case they view it. Shy, anything you want to contribute?
Parents, I appreciate you. Friends, thanks for your support.
When did they pull this up in school?
Anything?
I just want to say that what we're doing here is good things, you know, because we're educating people to know different things. So yeah.
All right.
Love the show.
Yeah.
So parents, viewers, teachers,
Them teachers.
there you have it. On set with us on Adaptive Adjustments today, we had Chaya Johnson, Kaithlin Miller, and Jaiden. Makeup?
Bob.
Yes, Jaiden Bob. So I want to thank you all for viewing, you know, on Adaptive Adjustments today. Today's episode doesn't have a title, but instead we liaise with the children to help you parents to understand a bit of what happens inside of their mind and how you can contribute towards their mental stability moving forward. So I want to thank Closet Red Boutique for my wardrobe this afternoon. You guys can check them out in Mount Lambert. Feel free, they're also on Facebook as well. Check them out. Get all your plus size clothing and accessories at Closet Red. Chaya, Kaithlin, and Jaiden, thank you again for giving me the time of the day, for coming here on Adaptive Adjustments and for sharing with the parents some of the tips that they needed to hear from the mouth of children.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, it was awesome. So guys, if you would like to have a rerun of this episode, feel free to check us out on Facebook, TikTok, also Instagram, right, as well as our YouTube channel, Adaptive Adjustments with Auntie Nika. Happy Easter, everyone. I hope that you all enjoy the weekend. Be safe. Remember, keep your social distancing. I'm your host, Auntie Nika. See you on our next episode.